New Yorkers and advocates say workers' rights are being stripped through a legal process that is not fair to employees. Bert Sempier explains.
Settling disputes through arbitration has become a common practice for many businesses in the United States. But today, dozens are calling for an end to that practice. New Yorkers and employee advocates say workers' rights are being infringed upon through forced arbitration. The advocates say that some companies include in their employee contracts a forced arbitration agreement, which means once the contract is signed, an employee waives the right to resolve potential claims against the company through a court process rather through proceedings out of court. New York City's public advocate Letitia James says many people are unaware that they've signed these agreements.
It's far time that we again stand up against those who would clearly infringe upon our basic rights when it's forced upon us. If someone is the victim of an offense, they must have a legal right to take action against the perpetrator in the appropriate forum.
According to an estimate by the Alliance for Justice, 30 to 40% of American workers are subject to forced arbitration agreements. Liz Vladek is a deputy commissioner within the New York City Department of Consumer Affairs.
When companies are able to move adjudication of disputes out of the courts and into this private, invisible system, employers win much more of the time. Employee damages are much lower if they get them.
But it's just not employee contracts where there are forced arbitration clauses. According to New York Assemblyman Brian Kavanaugh, forced arbitration is also included in other places like mobile apps.
It is actually the most frequent time you are likely to sign a forced arbitration agreement is when you are buying goods or services in this state and indeed in this country. When you are buying an app on your phone and you're agreeing to terms, you're very likely agreeing to forced arbitration. When you are signing routine contracts at your local store, sometimes you're agreeing to forced arbitration.
But those in favor of arbitration say there are several positive factors of settling legal action in this type of setting, including lesser costs because a lawyer doesn't have to be hired, faster litigation, and the ability to keep the proceedings in private. Meanwhile, public advocate James is introducing new legislation that she says is aimed at helping workers. The first bill requires companies that deal with the city to state if they include forced arbitration in employee contracts, and a second bill will prohibit the city from offering financial assistance to businesses who do include arbitration in contracts. Reporting in Manhattan, Bert Sempier, WMBC News.